Hello and welcome to a Photoshop tutorial. Today we're going to be looking into masking in Photoshop. Masks can be made from selections, and to make selections we have two tools that we can use: lasso tool and quick selection tool. Today we're going to be focusing on the quick selection tool. The lasso tool, polygon lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool can all be found by clicking the L key on your keyboard. And these three tools can help you make a selection as well. They are a little more of a freehand selection, whereas you can draw around your subject and a selection will be made. The object selection tool is fairly easy to use. As you can see, this bird is highlighted pink, so if we click on it, a selection will be made from it. The magic wand tool does something similar, where you click and a selection will be made, but as you can see, it doesn't make a full selection. It only selects on portions of that image. As you can see by the marching ants, this is now a selection. To get rid of a selection, you can just click Ctrl D or Command D on Mac and it'll remove it. For an image like this with a clear background, you can just go over into the properties panel, go down to quick actions and remove background, and you get a mask without really having to do any work. Photoshop just detects it and removes the background. Another simple method is, for example, with this image, you can just go up to the menu here on the top of your screen. You click select subject and a mask will be made. For this tutorial, we will be using quick selection tool. So again, on the left side, you click it. You can also reach it by clicking W on your keyboard, and you can just click and drag and it makes a selection. If at any point you feel that there was a part of a selection that you didn't want, you can just hold down Alt and drag, click and drag, and it'll remove it. As you can see, we can remove any parts of those marching ants. With a more complex image, such as a portrait, like this one, with a busy background and hair floating, a great way to start is by clicking select the subject, or you can use the quick selection tool and click and drag on portions of it. But the result of either of these is that the hair is very hard to mask out like this, and Photoshop doesn't do well with detecting the strands of hair. To fix this, you can go up to the menu here again, and right next to select subject you have select and mask. You click on it and a new window will appear with a red overlay on the background. The red overlay just simply means anything in red is out of the selection. On the left side you have a couple new tools, in specific the refine edge brush tool, which is the most helpful with hair. Simply, you can either just click on parts of it, or you can click and drag as well. As you can see, the hair is being selected out of the background. And you can always just use your brush and just go back and just touch up where you think you see more than you need of the background. You can also click refine hair on the top menu as well, but I find it easier to just use the brush tool here, the refine edge brush tool, and just mask it at your own pace. To change your brush size, you can always use the bracket keys on your keyboard, and this is just an easy way to mask out parts of the image. On the right side you find new sliders here that you can use for your selection. So if you want to feather your selection a little bit, this will soften up the edge. You can do that. Once you are happy with the selection you made, you click OK. It'll bring you back into this window, and as you can see, we have a bit of a sharper selection around our subject. Now to make this into a mask, you go to the bottom right corner here, the rectangle with the circle cut out. You just click on it and it makes a mask. To view your mask, you hold Alt and click on the mask. And as you can see, we have a pretty clean mask here. To go back, we just click Alt on the mask again. Now, let's say you want to invert your mask. And to do that, simply you just go to the Properties panel with your mask selected in your Layers panel. You go down to Invert, and it'll bring in the background instead of your subject. Now, if you have parts of your mask that you don't like that are peeking through, like this part of the background, with your mask selected, you can click B to bring up the brush tool. You set your foreground color to black. You can right click and you can fix the hardness of your brush and the size. Brush along the edge here of portions that you want to remove. Using a softer brush will allow for your mask to feel more natural and look more natural instead of giving it a hard edge. And this portion of the background that's poking through is a result of the feather that we put on the mask. And if there is part of your mask that you want to bring back, just switch your foreground color to white, either by clicking the arrows or X on your keyboard. And again, the same thing, you just click and drag, and this will brush in part of your original image. Like this portion of the hair, I want more of the hair back in, so I'm just clicking and dragging along to paint it back in. So you can get meticulous with the selections and the mask as much as you need to. Now, if you want to make changes to your mask and your mask only, holding down Control, click on the mask. This will bring up the marching ants back in to just the mask that we made. You go to your adjustment layers and bring in any adjustment that you want. In this case, I'm going to bring in the curves. And as you can see, it's only affecting that mask that we made a selection of. So any changes we make will stick to that mask. Masks are really helpful when you want to composite two images together and you have backgrounds that don't work. I put my subject behind a blue sky with birds floating off. And you can always just, again, click on your mask to bring up a selection, make edits to match the lighting, and you can make this as believable as a composite as you can. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Have fun masking.